All right. It's that time. It's time for Beyond Sight and Sound. Let's do this.
Are you looking for a high-quality beach and sand scoop? Are you trying to take your hunting to the extreme? How about an American-based company that stands behind their product and everything they sell? Then check out our friends over at XTREME Scoops. John has been making scoops for some time now and makes a quality beach and sand scoop to take your hunting to the next level. XTREME Scoops recently released their new sand shredder that works great in the water and on the beach. And if you're a new Equinox user, you may want to check out his Surfmaster X3 that can trap those small targets you new Equinox users are finding out there. XTREME Scoops' company approach is let's do it right. So do it right, buy it once, and go to the extreme. XTREMEScoops.com. That's XTREME Scoops.com. Caution. Please do not operate motor vehicles or power equipment while under the influence of this show. Listening to this show could cause side effects such as bouts of laughter, violent binges of cabin fever, and even dreams of silver and gold. Please be advised. Now that the fine print is out of the way, on with the show. All right, we're back and we're live once again. You are listening to Beyond Sight and Sound Metal Detecting and Treasure Hunting Radio for all the really cool digging people out there. And as I look into the chat, Bill wants to know if I've started building an ark. Well, I might need to. I don't know. At this point, we're not real sure what's going on, what's going to happen. So, I guess disclaimer at the beginning of the show: if the power goes out and knocks us off the air, I will not attempt to try to finish out the show. It'll just stop right there, because at that point I'm going to have to grab the generator and hope that we still have somewhere to pump to. They told us we were getting hit with a large storm today, which, she's a big angry one. They said that we would be under a flash flood watch until 8:30 tonight, but they've now since extended that to about 2 o'clock in the morning. And I believe when they issued the watch, we had already taken on 2 inches of rain, and this thing's supposed to drop another inch or 2 yet tonight, and another 1 to 3 tomorrow. Unfortunately, our lake is over its banks, and they're starting to shut down roads now. They did shut down one of the highways that ran along the lake, and now they, actually just a few minutes ago, they announced that another road here in town that borders the lake was just shut down due to high water, and that one is only about 8 blocks from our front door. So, we'll have to see what happens. So it could quite possibly be a short show tonight. Gotta see what we can do about the water situation. We've already got standing water everywhere in town, and now we've got it dumping more on us. So I don't know. Lately, if it isn't flooding and rain, it's tornadoes and then more flooding, and God forbid, all of the mosquitoes. Oh my God, they're terrible. They're horrendous. Either way, moving on. Links in the description. Our friends over at Shooters and Prospectors, our friends at Extreme Scoops, our friends at DETECTEES.com. Ken, Mark, Darth, Buddy, and the gang doing a great job out there. Also, we have the links to our friends at XP Team USA, Facebook page, podcast, website, blog articles, and you can find their YouTube channel by searching YouTube for XP Team USA. We've also got the links to River Styx Outdoors in the description still, the link for the voting for the paracord bracelets, and the links to All Metal Militia on Facebook and YouTube. Putting out episodes every Monday on YouTube, and they may even move that up to another one a week. And I'm telling you what, folks, if you guys and gals like seeing GW buttons, you need to go over and check out their group, because I think I've seen 3 of them posted in the last week or so. They're tearing it up. Definitely good to see. They're having a good time with it, and making some very nice finds. I was a little off Sunday on the total for the group. They are, well, actually, I think they were just around or over 200 then. I think they're knocking on 300 members now. So nice to see. I believe I dropped in there earlier today. Don't quote me. I want to say they were around 270-ish members. So they're getting there. They're definitely getting there. Either way, with the way the storms were coming through and everything, which has any of you probably listening to the show, if you've checked the radar, that's a big storm cell that goes through many of the areas for listeners of the show. I mean, I've seen it clear out past, clear out into Iowa and still moving this way. So it's going to continue to dump on us for a while. With that in mind, we weren't sure if we were going to try to go live or not, or whether or not we were going to... Oh, welcome to Maya. I see that, Steve's in as well. Welcome to him, Mark, and the Bills, and... Right, GW buttons. Maya was one of them that found one. Last week. The episode last week. Not last Monday's episode, but the episode last week. So very, very cool. I'm sure she was excited about it. I mean, everybody that we've seen find those are definitely... It's a find to get excited about. How can you not? So yeah, definitely, if you have not seen those clips or even photos, go check out All Metal Militia on Facebook or YouTube, and you'll be able to see those. The reaction when they find them, I believe today, just this afternoon, Kendall posted one. So congratulations to him. Doing good with it. Doing good. So yeah, like I was saying, with the storms and everything, we figured we'd just run open lines because we don't know what Mother Nature is going to do. So far, I can hear the pumps cycling, so I know we're still pumping, and I don't know if you listen very, very close, you may be able to hear the rain pounding down. So that's why I mentioned the disclaimer at the beginning of the show. If we get knocked off the air, well, that's it for tonight, because we got to get scrambling to make sure those pumps are moving. Certainly don't need to flood. Don't need to flood at all. Welcome to Peter. So, yeah. Like we were saying, it's a good possibility that we may have to begin building an ark. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't get to that. Or find a boat or something. I don't know. We're liable to have an in-ground swimming pool by the time, an unintentional in-ground swimming pool by the time it's all said and done. Either way, though, I think we do have all the links covered now in the description. So with that being said, open lines tonight. It may be a shorter show. Who knows? Maybe we'll try to get out of here by 9 or before 9, something like that. It all depends on what's going on and what Mother Nature will allow for us to do. Other than that, we are working on some little scheduling glitches. It seemed like we had Sunday scheduled. That has since moved, and now that's put us into a whole other dilemma, because the following Sunday we just about double booked, and we're still working on the logistics of an upcoming show. The folks that have followed Beyond Sight and Sound for a while know that there have been some times where we will get crazy and have a somewhat large panel on as far as guests. With that in mind, we are currently working out the logistics. It sounds like very soon we will be having another large panel of guests coming up. And it's going to be interesting. It is. It will be interesting. I think, let's see, we've done it with Stealth Diggers before. We've done it with Treasures in America. There's been a few times we've had multiple people on at the same time for the show. And it looks like we will be attempting that again here in the near future with, I want to say, I believe at least myself and 6 others. That's going to be interesting. Coordinated Chaos. Sounds like a good time. I'm up for it. Let's go. Let's try it. Why not? So yeah, looking forward to it. We'll see how things go with that. And we see that Mark, we see that, I know Mark and them down there in Florida, they've been getting a lot of rain too. Hopefully, they're all staying as dry as can be. And, Nice. I like that, Bill. Yeah, so hopefully Mark and them down in Florida, we know we do have a lot of listeners in Florida. Hopefully they are staying as dry as can be, and obviously we're hoping the best for anyone that's in the path of this storm that's dropping all sorts of water. I know Illinois has really gotten hit with it as well. I don't know if Barb's getting hit with it much out there in Massachusetts or not. Hopefully not. So far, it seems like she's enjoying her trip, at least, well, as best as can. It got off to a little bit of a rough start for those that tuned in Sunday. But from what I've seen on her posts, she's doing quite well for herself. She says the Equinox with the 15-inch coil goes quite deep. the Equinox in its own is just a beast. Ask Bill. He's been doing quite well with the Nox. And, Monday, I believe it was, I had posted, I said not to tell Barb, so hopefully she's not listening. No, I'm kidding. Monday, I had posted an Indian. Yeah, that's right, Barb, an Indian. And I'll bet you that thing was every bit of 9 or 10 inches deep. Something like that. Definitely a deep coin. The Equinox certainly responded well to it. 1903. It could have been a little better for condition, but there's still some good detail on it. Very easy, very easy to make out the date and any of the other details. There was no doubt trying to figure out what it was as it came out of the ground. So we did make sure to put a post up about it and tag Barb while we were saying, "Don't tell Barb." So, Barb obviously seen the post and reacted to it. I mean, she knows it's all in good fun anyway. And who knows, if she had been here, maybe she would have found the Indian. She's got that 15-inch coil on there. I hit it with the stock coil, so I'm sure she would have hit it with the 15-inch coil. But so far, we've seen some very nice finds being posted, not only on All Metal Militia, but Barb's been having fun tearing it up out there in Massachusetts with her niece. They've been doing some detecting, and we've seen Engine Thief, yeah. I guess so. Which, I'm gonna keep right on piling those up as I can. We gotta get them where we can, unfortunately. So, if you had been here, Barb, you would have got maybe you would have got your coil over it. That's all it is. You gotta get your coil over it. Welcome to Robert. Massachusetts, you're in a good area for it. It wouldn't surprise me if you don't wind up finding one yet. And Chuck is in. Hopefully he's staying dry, because it looked like that was nasty out there over Illinois as well. That's the thing. This is a large cell. It really is. Hence the title, Floating Lines, instead of Open Lines. Also, coincidentally, you'll see there the image for the show tonight. If you look closely, clearly it's an edited image. It's photoshopped. So, either way, Ohio Relic Hunter had posted that up in the Beyond Sight and Sound group today, the Metal Detecting Beyond Sight and Sound group, and I seen it, and I laughed my ass off. Figured it took him a little bit of time to do it. Actually, it didn't take him long at all to do it, apparently. He's pretty witty with that stuff. And I noticed it a little after it had been posted. I don't know, 3, maybe 4 hours after it had been posted. Either way, as soon as I noticed it, I had commented on it or reacted to it, something like that, and then some other people had noticed it as well. And then people started to share it. It showed up on a couple of timelines, another group. So I figured, hey, what the heck? Everybody's having fun with it. We'll go ahead and share it over to the Beyond Sight and Sound page as well. And then we'll just go ahead and include that image in tonight's show. So, for those wondering, no, that's not an original photo. That's a doctored photo, courtesy of Ohio Relic Hunter. but it is creatively done. I'll give him that. It was, put a little bit of a laugh in the day. And I see that Bill says I went viral. Nice. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting photo. So we figured we'd just go ahead and say, well, what the heck? We'll go ahead and include it as the image in tonight's show. For those that have been watching the links that drop for the show every night we're live, recently we have been trying to share, rather than just sharing the link, we're usually sharing it with an image too, whether it's the cover art for Beyond Sight and Sound, whether it's a photo pertaining to the guest or the topic or whatever, simply because it's simpler for us to propagate the link through Facebook that way with the changes that Facebook has made. Either that or maybe that's just me, the way I'm sharing, I don't know. But something has changed on Facebook to where it seems to work simpler, easier, and all of that if we include some sort of an image. So tonight, hey, it was Ohio Relic Hunter's image. So definitely nice. Definitely. And I know that it looks like we're discussing some form of event in Maine in July, maybe? I don't know. Somewhere in July. I did see someone had posted a flyer to an event in the Beyond Sight and Sound group earlier today or yesterday. That could be the one that they're referring to. I did see something, though, if you're not a member of the Metal Detecting Beyond Sight and Sound group or haven't seen the flyer somewhere else, maybe I can share it over to the page after the show. You may want to check into that, because I did notice that there was a change of dates, apparently. Not sure if that's the same event they're discussing in the chat or not, but the one I saw, there was a change of dates. So if it is the same one, you may want to check into that to make sure that you do have the correct dates. I don't know the details behind it as to what changed the dates, what prompted the change, or even what the dates had changed to. But I'm sure if that is the case, someone can post it up in the chat as well, or you can check out the Beyond Sight and Sound group as well. That way, everyone's on the same page. And the way it sounds, it looks like XP Team USA will be attending Pound the Ground Adirondacks in New York. So for those that follow XP Team USA, they'll be seeing an appearance from them up there at that event. I want to say it looked like RC, Tim Glick, Sonia, Dave and Pete, maybe, that it looks like they are attending. I saw the post earlier. I'm sure you can find it on the XP Team USA Facebook page or even RC's timeline, because I believe that's who I saw made the post, if I remember correctly. So we'll see. Definitely. Other than that, in all the moisture that we're in, the Profine 35 seems to be working quite well. It's a good little pinpointer. The depth seems to be right up there, kind of top of the heap, so to speak, like Chuck has mentioned before, along with the pulse dive, the carrot, and many other good pinpointers out there. Speaking of which, speaking of pinpointers, somebody happened to pose the question to me earlier today, see if maybe any of you Garrett users in the chat may know. With the AT Max, it is compatible with the Z-Link. And with the wireless carrot, then, obviously. So does anybody have any idea, or maybe you can chime into the chat, maybe you can even call into the show and mention it. Does anybody know, with that wireless pairing, if you have the wireless carrot, how does that work? I am going to have to assume that it works in a very similar fashion as the MI6 with the XP Deus. Once the pinpointer pairs with the headphones, it shuts the coil signal off, and then you're just hearing the signal from the pinpointer. Then you turn the pinpointer off, and you go back to hearing the signal from the coil. I'm guessing. Not real sure there. The question was posed to me earlier, and I really didn't have an accurate answer for him because of the fact that I do not use the AT Max. Looks like, yeah, we do have Mark in the chat. He does use an AT Max. And he says that it does pair the same way. It's just one of those things somebody had asked me, and it's like, I'm really not sure there. I would have to assume that it pairs the same way as the MI6 and other units out there. But myself, I don't have the wireless carrot. It's not, it doesn't make any sense for me to have the wireless carrot because I don't work with a lot of Garrett machines too much anymore. Used to. Good machines. But I've kind of let them go by the wayside, so to speak. And when people ask a question like that, it's always good to try to get them the most accurate information that I can anyway. And if I don't know the answer, then I will try to find out or find someone that does know the answer so I can give accurate information on the show. And we've got a caller. He may even have something to chime in on it. How's it going, Chuck? Are you staying dry out there?
No. I was out doing a demo in the rain, but I kept reiterating that the Equinox 800 is waterproof, even though we aren't totally waterproof.
Right, yeah. We may not be waterproof, but the machine is. Yeah, we're really getting hit with it here. They've actually, just right before we went live, they closed down a road in town about 8 blocks from here because the lake's already up over its banks. We're taking on water fast.
Oh, no. Well, yeah. We just got down here below what they call flood stage, action level below that. And this is going to hit. It's all going to come back up. But
you're going to crest again.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately. Yeah, well, they had us under...
The question you had, what was the question exactly? They weren't trying to pair another brand to an AT, just the AT Max pointer to the Max detector, right?
Right. They were curious to know if the wireless carrot paired to the AT Max with the Z-Link headphones the same way that, say, the MI6 does to the XP Deus, where when you turn
I haven't tried every configuration that can be done through the AT Max and the AT Pro. There's kits for the AT Pro that will accept, you plug in and accept that.
Right,
that
the
kind
Z-Link
of stuff.
adapter.
Right. So you get the Z-Link adapter, it will work with the AT-Max pinpointer.
Right. Now, does that work in the same fashion as the MI6, though, where when you turn the pinpointer on, now it essentially shuts your coil off? You're not hearing the signal from your coil, you're hearing the signal.
That's the way
from
I
the
understand it. I haven't done it on the AT Pro. I've done it with the Max, but I haven't done it with the Pro. Because I didn't feel I needed to put the kit on just to make a pinpointer work. I already had the Max that I've used, so the pinpointer,
Right. Yeah, I mean, other than that, that's really the only benefit that I see from the wireless Carrot is if you
and it pairs the same way. And Mark reiterated that.
Yeah.
And yes. And I got guys asking me about the 800. 800 pairs Bluetooth. You can pair Bluetooth with it. It will accept proprietary equipment and other equipment. You can pair your phone to it.
Absolutely, yeah.
How you would want to do that, I haven't figured that one out, but you can pair a phone to it. When it rings, you can hear in there. I generally try to turn it off unless I dig something I want to record.
Yeah, exactly. And you're right. You can pair actually many different types of headphones, including earbuds, to the
yes.
The Equinox. I actually use a pair of aftermarket wireless headphones on the Equinox rather than the MindLab ones.
I got a call today asking me what the best earbuds are out there. And I'm sorry, I don't get comfortable fit out of earbuds, so I use a full headset, and so I can't.
Right.
The Sony makes a good one. I mean, they make some good earbuds out there, and there's a lot of other brands, and everybody's going to have a different opinion of them. I said, that's something that you're just going to have to do a little checking on because, I recommended the Sonys because Sony's a good quality name, but there's a lot of them out there that will probably pair with it on a Bluetooth site. There is one thing with that, when you use Bluetooth versus some of the other things, you do have a slight lag, and some people can notice it, others can't.
Right, yeah, you do have to, there are certain, what is that, low latency, I believe, 4.2 possibly. But, low latency set of wireless headphones to minimize that lag. And you're exactly right, with the earbuds, that's a tough one to really give a recommendation on. I mean, you can give a recommendation on quality.
There may be some people out here on right now that have a particular earbud that they like, but it's not going to be the same for everybody.
Exactly.
There's too many of them.
You can recommend because they're known for audio quality or something, but with earbuds, that's a personal preference type thing because it's going to fit everybody differently.
Right.
And that's, like you said, it's hard for some people to find a pair that fit comfortably, where they don't feel like they're falling out, or they don't, they can hear okay and everything.
Great. And you can spend a lot of money or a little money, and sometimes the little money might be the best one for you. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's just like
in that aspect, you're right.
Me taking my wife shopping for a purse, it ain't going to happen. I'm not going to buy her a purse. She's going to buy her own. I mean,
right.
It's all personal choice and what you've tried and what you've had luck with.
Yeah, exactly. You're just going to have to get out there and try some out and find what works for you, I guess, in terms of the people that are looking for earbuds rather than the full cup headphones. And this is really the time of year that, some people, they like to utilize that option. They're cooler with the earbuds.
Right. Okay, Mark's got the WM08 with Apple earbuds. He uses the WM08.
That's an option too. Yeah, you can plug them into the WM08.
There's all these opportunities to work with that particular, all of them. I mean, they all have this wireless capability, which is great on these pinpointers. That's fantastic. I love that. And different earbud options, all this kind of stuff. So, again, as you and I have spoken, this mid-range war, we're winning.
Right, the technological race.
Yep. So it's a good thing. for everybody. And Barb, I got a question for you. Call in. I want to know if you scaled that pole and cut down that kudzu at your mother's house. I could just read that in the paper that some gal's up there chopping power lines down because the internet and everything won't work at her mom's house. I knew it would be her.
Right, yeah. That would be interesting to know.
Yeah. Did you see that picture?
No, I did not.
The power company, mom's having problems with stuff there. The internet connection and everything's up on that pole, and it's just covered. And that's not good. It's all around the power lines, phone lines, everything.
No, yeah, clearly somebody's dropped the ball because they should have somebody out there that's doing maintenance.
I think that stuff grows so fast they can't keep up with it down there.
Well, yeah, that's true too. We've heard plenty of that from Barb as far as the kudzu down there in North Carolina. But that's that's just problems waiting to happen, or well, apparently already are happening. You got to watch that sort of stuff. Definitely. I don't know. I know when I looked into the chat a little bit ago, I know she was in there, but I don't know if she's still with us or not.
Yeah, she's there. She's running a contest on you in there right now.
Lady, I see.
That 9-carat white gold. 9-carat white gold. I'm not going to say. I'll see what they guess at. I have a number.
Well, that's you know gold.
1-carat gold. Remember, there's a lot of added metal in that 9-carat.
That's right. Yeah. Well, I guess there's their bit of hint from wisdom. You definitely know your gold, that's for sure. Well, I had no idea she was sneaking a contest in there. Of course, I guess that's probably the message.
Free point on you. I'll bet it ain't an Indian hit penny. What do you want to bet, Josh?
I'm pretty sure it's not an Indian. Although I did have someone tell me that posting that picture of the Indian I did the other night, that if I didn't watch it, Barb was liable to drag me behind her car like she did with that coil cable. She was just practicing with the cable.
Tough on a coil. I wonder if she did try calling my lab about that.
You know, I haven't heard
it doesn't
anymore.
last while you drag it to death behind a car.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Heck, who knows? Maybe it'll give them a good laugh and they'll go, you know what? We've not heard that one yet. Yeah, we'll replace it. I mean, you do hear occasionally, like you had mentioned Sunday, somebody running over a coil, or I'm not real sure how, even a detector. But,
that's happened too.
Yeah,
I had a guy fall with a 30-30 on ice, big guy, land on it and literally smashed it.
Yeah, I can believe it.
To the point, it broke the motherboard in there, and they said unrepairable.
Yeah. Just this last winter, actually, Leighton was out with the 30-30 and took a spill on ice, and I can't remember now, cracked the base for it, I think, the stand.
Ooh, that doesn't surprise me. Cold weather, and we still have to remember these are a good case, but they're still affected by the cold, the heat, and everything else, and when impacts happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they are ruggedly built, very robust machines, but they still have, limits. There's just certain things you shouldn't do with them, and unfortunately, accidents do happen. Running them over with a vehicle, though, is definitely on the list of things not to do with them.
Right. I like Barb's little, not to change Barb's little thing she's doing on here. That challenges these guys with if they've got a Knox, or you're just throwing numbers out there.
Yeah, right. Yeah. If that's what she's doing, is asking what it rang up like.
Well, she's got the number. She knew what it rang up. She tested it for that gal, so she's got the number. That's cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say sometimes, and you know, when you're looking for gold, especially gold jewelry, it has the potential to ring up anywhere on the scale, depending on
I've seen gold ring up negative.
Yeah.
-1.
Yeah, depending on the purity, the
rings
size.
can be very low.
Yep.
And in gold, I don't know how big around or what size this earring might have been. Smaller size gold, even with a different carat value, can be low also.
Absolutely, it can. It has the potential. You've got to watch how much you notch out if you're looking for gold, because it does have the potential to ring up anywhere.
Right. Well, 14 carats, 53%.
Right.
So you're dropping down to, I think it was a 9 carat. I think that's in the 20 percentile range, gold, 22. You go up to 18, that's 75%. And then 2 carat, it's getting real pure where you're in the high 80s and that kind of stuff. So, and then if you start searching nuggets, most of your nuggets are 88%. Some of the best gold in America is in Georgia and in Wyoming, and they run up in the 90 percentile.
Nice. Boy, aren't those nice pieces to find?
Yes, they are. And in California, Northern Cal has some real naturally pure. We're the only, there's no such thing as totally pure gold. I've seen it as low as 55%, and some of your South Dakota gold has a lot of copper, has that pretty red tone, and that's 55 to 60%.
Nice. 508, you're live. Who do we have?
Hello.
Oh,
hey, Trouble.
It's Barb.
It's Barb.
Right.
Did you get up on that pole and chop that kudzu down or whatever that is growing on there?
There ain't no kudzu here in Massachusetts.
Well, whatever it is growing on there for your mom.
No, there ain't nothing. It's just, she has Comcast for cable, and she has internet, and I think it's in the apartment, so the wireless, sucks in the house.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Okay. I would think that would impact everything up there on that line. I'd call that power company and tell them to get their backside out there and chop that down.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're going to come back and say, well, that's coming off your property.
There's actually like a tree in front of the power line. It's not kudzu or vine or anything.
Okay. So, yeah, if we have that impact here, if we have that going on, we have to do kind of a drive-through through town, that kind of stuff, see what kind of limbs and that are impact. We call them and tell them this is going to happen as a fire department, and they'll come take care of certain problems if it's on their right-of-way. If it's off their right-of-way coming over there, then that's the owner's problem.
Right, exactly. Okay. That's the way it is here, too. Like the city will drive through, or the fire department, and they will look at certain areas and say, well, these limbs are starting to become an issue. They need to be cut back. The city utilities will come down through, and whether you want them cut or not, they're cutting them back, but they will only cut back so far, because then that gets into where it's no longer their problem, it's yours.
Right.
Right. So, hey, your little contest, what are you giving out? We heard it wasn't going to be an Indian head.
It'll never be an Indian head.
Right. She's pretty particular about her Indians.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll see what's in the booty box when I get home. I got lots of coins.
There you go.
But,
there you go.
Yeah.
You didn't hit any jewelry really yet down there on the beach?
No, I have not hit a dang piece of jewelry.
Well, I saw a bunch of deep quarters.
yeah, she was definitely working for them.
I'm going to tell you, like 8, 10, 12 inches, and there was a guy this morning. I got up early, which stunk, but low tide was at 7:30.
Mm-hmm.
When I was low tide of the day. So I got up, had a cup of tea, took a cup with me, and meandering down the beach, I'm like, that looks like somebody metal detecting way down there. And I don't think he said he found a bunch of junk. He didn't really say anything. I said, oh, well, we pulled almost $5 out of here yesterday.
Cool.
Nice.
And, yeah. And, I mean, dimes. Dimes like sing. It's like, I'm like, another dime, let's dig it. I got dimes that look like the size of trimes. They're so small.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, they get beat up in nature's rock tumbler.
Yeah, well, yeah. Wow. No silver, nothing like that showed.
No, nothing. And,
well,
and
digging
is it
810.
sanded in then? Is there a lot of build up on that beach, Barb?
That's a good point. There could be.
Oh, yeah. And that's why I wanted to go at low tide. But I mean, I've hit 2 beaches and I'm pulling 70s coins, and one beach I was pulling late 60s.
Ooh.
And yeah, and the steamship is right there. We used to go diving for coins when we were a kid. They don't allow it anymore. But we'd swim out to when the people were coming off the boats and yell, how about a coin, how about a coin? And so if you watch my Go Live, that's what that's about. And we'd make a couple bucks. I'm talking, I was like 13 years old, you know? And that was the big thing, you know, to go
That's good
coin.
money.
And so how many coins we didn't get on that beach. And yeah, they have brought fill in, and yeah, the beach has deteriorated since I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm pulling coins 12 inches down and they're, 70s, 80s coins, there's old stuff there.
Absolutely.
Oh, Barb, they're asking who won. Miss Detectress is on there. She wants to know who won.
Uh-oh.
Who's got the lowest number? Because I freaked. I mean, this lady was like, I'm wondering if she didn't lose a piece of gold, because she was like, I wonder what this would ring up as. And she was from India. And I said, well, I don't know. I haven't found any gold with it. I haven't had it that long. And she took it off and she went, well, here, let's find out, and put it on the ground.
Oh.
And I swung over it and I raised it. And I mean, it was a solid tone, but it was faint. And it rang up a 2.
Okay. How big around was it?
About the size of my little pinky nail, so between
It's small.
about a half, just smaller than a half inch, between a 1/4 inch and a half inch.
I was going to say 4 to 8, but sometimes with it being a low gold content and being larger, it will ring higher because you will detect more of the content of the base metals, whether it be copper, silver mix, or whatever.
Right, whatever it's alloyed with.
Right, whatever it's alloyed with will run it up. If it's a large, like a good ring, a bigger ring, will ring higher than something that small.
Well, I'm thinking it's because after finding my 9-carat gold
Bracelet.
that I found in Florida, the charms is what I heard. The charms rang up like killer. When I took the bracelet, because it was falling apart, the loops were hollow, and I'm wondering if her earring, it was, a loop, but it was round, the metal itself, and so I'm wondering if it was hollow, and that's why it rang up so low, because there was hardly any metal to it.
You said it was a white gold piece?
Yeah, it was 9-carat white gold, she told me.
Okay, that's palladium is what they use to mix with gold to get it white gold. So that might be part of the reason why it rang like it did.
Right.
I mean, it didn't sound like a 2 of iron, because, I've used it enough on the beach that, 1 to 10, you ring it and it sounds good, but then you get that it's garbage. It didn't have that. It was a solid, soft tone, but it was a freaking 2.
Yeah,
Excellent.
I've seen them ring up real low like that. Plus, you figured, like you said, the surface area, that's hardly even the size of a 1 gram bar.
Yeah, I mean...
Not much there.
No.
Yeah, I was shocked. I expected, like 11, 12, somewhere in there. And I'm going to tell you what, Zinkins can ring up anywhere from 12 to 22.
Especially if they're corroded.
Yep.
Once they start corroding pretty good, that number range, because a lot of times the zinc penny, they'll ring up, 19, 20, 21, 22 range, but the more corrosion they get, the more that spread expands.
They get chatty.
Yeah.
But dimes and quarters are solid, and my carrot died. It worked good yesterday. Yeah, it worked great yesterday, and today I turned it on, and nothing. It turns on, and it turns off, but nada.
You're just not having any luck.
Low, or did you put a new one in?
I tried 4 different batteries.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, and I thought mine have been in there since DIV, some since November, but they're new. But my mom's like, I got a new one. And, I mean, the dates on them are like 20 and 21. And, nope, it turns on, does nothing.
You got another
should have bought a Mind Lab.
What?
Should have bought a Mind Lab.
Well, no, because I really beat the crap out of this, and I've had it. When did I
know, they're good. They're a good pinpointer.
Yeah, you've had that one a few years.
Yeah, because I gave my niece my black carrot in 2017, so I bought this in 16, I think.
Oh, that one didn't get drugged down the road, did it?
No.
Okay, just checking.
Not yet.
Which sucks, so we're going, I actually get to have my niece tomorrow afternoon and Friday. And she has the black carrot, so I told her today, bring the pinpointer because mine died.
Right, you two are going to be sharing.
Yep.
Well, she likes digging the holes.
Hey, that's even better.
Yeah, she really likes.
Oh, you got a digger. That's nice.
Right.
Well, she has the AT Pro. I'm just not wild on wet sand and trying to get her to go in the dry sand, knowing it'll find stuff there. But she meanders back with me, and I finally gave her the Knox and said, "Here, take the Knox, swing it." And we didn't have the earphones paired, so I could hear it. And I went, "That's a good signal. Dig it." And poor child dug a penny, but oh well. It was her first coin she dug on her own.
Hey, it's still her first. It wasn't trash.
Oh, no. And I knew it was a coin. But she loves digging the holes, so I just got to the point, and then she steals the pinpointer, so I'm like, bring your Garrett, and we'll go digging tomorrow afternoon.
See, that's what I need, because here lately I feel like I've been doing the kind of manatee crawl style of hunting. I like to stay on the ground more than trying to stand up, so I need to get me a digger, yeah.
Yeah, I'll rent her. No. But I'm going to tell Ken, bring clothes for every season of the year, because I went to the beach this morning. It was gorgeous. It was hazy, but the sun came out. I was comfortable. I just had a T-shirt and my cami pants and my rubber boots on. And it started to get hot, so I came home, did some things with Mom. We had lunch, went and got her some plants, finished her garden. I said I'm going to the beach, and I walked out and went, God, it's hot. Put shorts on, went to one beach. It was great. Go to the other side of the island and froze my bahooey off.
Well, that's the way it goes. I mean, I'm sure, well, I noticed it today. I don't know. I'm sure Chuck did too. When that storm started coming through, the temperature started dropping fast.
It dropped. I mean, I'm wearing a flannel shirt right now. Even I'm downstairs. It's like 61 out, but everything's cold and damp.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. I put my DIV big coat because I brought 4 coats. I always bring at least 4 or 5 coats from, my little just throw on. I bought my Relic Girl hoodie, which my mother stole. I'm like, where's my hoodie? Oh, it's in the laundry to get washed tomorrow. It's dirty. And I didn't have the heart to tell her. It'll never come clean. That is Virginia dirt on that.
Well, she's at least going to give it a shot.
Yeah, so she's like, it's dirty. I'm like, yeah, Mom, it's always dirty, I live in that in Virginia and in, North Carolina. And then I have a little light coat, and then I got my big heavy coat. And I've got my big heavy coat on tonight just because it's damp. Not so much cold, it's just that damp, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Nasty stuff. And I'm sure by this point we're over our annual rainfall average, so I don't know. We'll be well over it for the year by the end of the year, or hopefully it doesn't mean we go from one extreme to the next and we're going to go with no rain for 3 or 4 months.
Well, see, that's what we did. We had like 8 inches in March and April, and then nothing for like 3.5 weeks in May. And it's like, but Ken, definitely bring your long johns, bring your shorts.
Well, I'll tell you what, up here right now, we could go a month without rain because these fields are still lakes. They need to dry, and they aren't planted, and nothing's probably going to get put in at this late date. And we need some drying time. The river did drop. Old man Mississippi, he dropped hard, but the flooding out through these fields, there's literally a section from just north of me all the way up to Savannah, about 15 miles. Everything out there in the lowlands is a lake, and it's normally corn, beans.
Yep. Yeah, which is, you've got a good point. With all the rain, it's definitely making an impact agriculturally.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be bad. And I don't know who won the contest, but whoever had the lowest number, I'm not in the house watching my screen because if I wake my mother...
Bill Hayes did.
Okay, cool.
Imagine that.
They were saying.
Well, congrats to Bill.
Yeah, my mother's in bed already, so if I wake her up, I'm mud, so I'm outside.
Probably a good thing.
There you go.
I mean, if you're mud, it makes it a little hard to get out there tomorrow and find that Indian.
We're actually going to go to a park tomorrow. I got to go to my DFS for lunch. We'll probably have lobster or something great tomorrow.
Ooh, that sounds good.
At 1. I already had lobster twice. And scallops and fish and shrimp and...
You're there, Joy.
Right. Grab the chowder while you can.
I haven't had chowder yet. I had filet mignons today, though.
You're eating good.
Right, yeah. She's definitely eating good, enjoying the cuisine.
Well, my mom bought Omaha steak, so I cooked the fillets tonight. My godfather is a commercial fisherman, so he brought us 3 lobsters. So we had lobsters, and we had lobster salad for lunch today, and there's still lobster left over. So.
Nice.
Hey, Barb, I'm looking back. What was your number again, 2?
2.
Well, I'm looking for the lowest number I can find here, and I think Bill's a little higher. Miss Detectress. Well, wait a minute. Bill Hayes did say 7. I think that is the lowest.
Yeah, I think that was the lowest I saw.
Yep. I found him on 7. So, yep, Bill looks like he gets that zinc penny that's down to nothing you just found.
No, I would never send Bill a zinc penny.
With it being Bill, she might even think about sending him an Indian, but that'll be about as far as it gets. She won't send it.
Oh, there you go. Barb, tomorrow when you're in that park, 19. Anything 19, dig it, especially if it's beyond 4 inches. I know you're going to get some zincs. You're going to find a few other things, but 18, 19, and 20 range, that's where your Indians lay in unless you happen to get a fatty, which was a nickel content, and they can be down around 20. Well, that's on the 30-30. They get to 24 on the 30-30, so is a Flying Eagle. But get down a little lower than that, they'll be 15, 16 on your fatties. But
yeah, that's what I was going to say. Probably 15, 16. That's right. That's what that Indian rang up for me Monday was right there around 19, 20, bounced up to 21 a couple times.
Oh, and I can tell you, I have pulled, I think, 4 nickels out of the beach with the knocks. And, you know, nickels just don't sound good sometimes. And it's like,
Oh, no, the Knox likes nickels.
It loves nickels. I mean,
Did you hit 12, 13 on them, 13, 14, and then settle down to 13?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's about the way it goes around here, too, is if it stays more consistently on 13, you can pretty much guarantee, you see it, you hear it, you can pretty much guarantee before you dig it, you're on a nickel.
Well, I can tell you, pull tabs range from 11 to 18 on the beach here.
Well, yeah, there again, a lot of times the bottle caps are the same way. They'll ring up in a number of different locations too, simply because of all the different alloys. Yeah,
it's like, but the nickels are solid, and I'm like, a nickel, why couldn't there be a ring? And every day I come home, my mom's like, that's all you got was change. And I'm like, well, you know, if it ain't there, if it ain't under the coil, I can't find a ring or whatever, you know?
That's right. And the nickels sound so smooth, too, a lot of times.
Oh, this one sounded so good, I knew it was a ring. I knew it. And I was like, a freaking nickel. And then I was like, hey, you're pulling nickels. So if you get your coil over a ring, you're going to dig it if it sounds like a freaking nickel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely you will.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you what, Barb, good luck tomorrow. I'm hoping all kinds of Indian head pennies and silver for you. And have a good hunt and safe travels. I'm going to back out of here, you guys. And everybody have a good, safe night and dry out.
All right. Thanks for the call, Chuck. Stay dry out there.
All right, bud. Take care, Barbie.
Thanks, Pop.
Bye-bye.
Well, and hopefully now Denise's pinpointer doesn't go down tomorrow.
Well, the good thing is, you know what? When I go to Virginia, I always bring, like, extra of everything. I got a brand new Garrett carrot sitting in a box that I won at Blacksburg, South Carolina a year ago.
Yeah, but it doesn't do you any good at home.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you what, when I get home, I think I'm probably going to order me one. I'll pull that one. I'll see if Garrett will fix this one. I think water got into it was tight, so I know water didn't get into where the battery is. And when I opened it, it's dry. So the gasket around the speaker had to have leaked.
Or, you know, like you said, you've used that thing quite a bit. Maybe it just finally gave up the ghost.
Well, it still looks pretty brand new. So, you know, I expect more.
Well, we all do, but you figure the way you dig, you have cycled that thing on and off God knows how many times.
Probably 5,000.
I'd venture to say probably more than that. I mean, I've seen the way you dig.
Yeah.
So
well, I probably dug a couple hundred holes this week. So yeah, it could be 10,000, but you know, it don't hurt to talk to Garrett. They're usually pretty good with their customer service. So.
Yeah, they are great with their customer service, and you never know. You're not going to know until you check anyway. So hopefully you get good news. Yeah,
so I can say, you know, can I send it in if it's going to cost me the price of a pinpoint to fix it? No, thank you. But if it, you know, is going to be under $50, I'm game. And it's junk anyway, so I might as well send it in.
Yeah, it's worth a shot anyway. Definitely worth a shot. And then I guess you can look around for another pinpointer while you're waiting to hear back.
Well, I have my brand new one when I get home, so.
Right. Well, it's always good to have a backup, and apparently for you this week, it's good to have a backup for the backup.
But I did have I had a signal I could not get to today, and it's a solid 25, and it sings like a bird, and the tide wasn't down enough, so I marked right where it is, and so low tide's at 8:25 in the morning, so that's where I'll be to see what in the heck's in that dang hole that I didn't get to.
Right, so we know where you're starting at anyway.
Yeah, so as I dug, the waves were filling the hole back in, and there were so many rocks, and I'm like, okay, this is a losing battle.
Right. Well, I don't know. I mean, granted, you only get up there, once a year, twice a year, whatever, something like that, but it might not be a bad idea to carry a scoop.
I gave my scoop to my niece and my great niece, and I told Bianca when she comes tomorrow, bring her scoop.
There you go. Good thinking, pirate.
Yeah, I gave her my Black Garrett and the 350 and my sand scoop because I'm only here once a year. So it's like she's here all the time. So I'm like, here, keep the scoop.
Right.
So,
she's going to get more practical application use out of it than you are.
Yeah, I think I paid $40 for it, but I'm like, why lug it home and lug it back here when she's here, So,
right.
Yeah, so, but she doesn't have a belt. I thought they would have bought her a belt. So when I go home, I'm going to pick her up a belt so that she can put her pinpointer and her shovel. And I'm going to tell you, that white shovel y'all sent her, that's a beast compared to my Lesh.
Nice.
Yeah. She was like, here, use mine. And I'm like, I've never used yours, because I gave it to her brand new.
Right, it was brand new.
And I said, okay, let me use it. And I'm like, this sucker moves some dirt now.
Well, maybe Barb may be in the market for a backup digger, too.
Yeah, I really think so. I'm like, that'll be my next digger. So I like my Lesh, but I'm like, this baby's nice. So definitely I'm going to check out. I'll have to look at what it is. But it's a lot bigger, but it's not awkward. It felt good. So yeah, but she likes digging holes. So when we go to the park, I'm going to have to show her how to dig a park hole, though, because she don't know how to do that. We've just been playing on the beach.
Yeah, good point. Different environment, different digging technique.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna have to teach her the right way. Teach her our good traits, not our bad habits.
Yeah, but I was teaching her the AT Pro, and she did pretty good with it. She found that necklace. She was like, I got something. I said, what do you got? And she went, oh, it's a necklace.
Nice.
Yeah, but she had heard the metal clasp, which was really cool. So I said, take it home. You can cut it. It's all in the water. I'm like, cut it because the shells on it are killer. You can redo it and make a new necklace.
Yeah, there you go. Why not?
Yeah, so, but yeah, I love her to death, her mom died almost 3 years ago. She is going to be, she's going into 7th grade, I can tell you that, 11. So,
they grow up so fast.
Yeah, and her sister's finally sprouting like a weed, and I'm like, I seen her today, and I was like, oh my God. I'm getting old.
Well, unfortunately, it happens to all of us somewhere along the line.
Yeah, but she's a really good kid. She's a tomboy. She plays basketball. She plays baseball with the boys. She's on the Little League team. They let girls on the Little League team. Mm-hmm. And, of course, all the kids her age are about 1.5 feet shorter than her, which is hilarious.
Right. She's got an advantage there.
Oh, she's taller than me. Not that I'm tall, but she is taller than me.
Right. Hey, with all the stuff that you took to Massachusetts with you, I thought I saw a post somewhere that you've got one of the cooling towels.
I do.
Well, let's hear it.
It hasn't been hot enough to use it.
Oh, good grief.
Yeah, I'll use it when I get back to North Carolina where it's 88 degrees. You know, this 68, 72, I'm out there in shorts and people are bundled up in coats and they're like looking at me like I'm nuts. And I'm like, this is nice.
Right. Well, I'll tell you, when you get back to North Carolina and you finally get a chance to try it, I think you'll be quite pleased. I've been putting mine through the paces and it's working nice. I like it.
Cool. It's killer. I mean, yeah. It's killer.
Yeah, they did a very good job with them, and the way I understand it, as long as it's some good feedback and everything, they may incorporate it into the website. So we'll see what happens.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. I am using my little relic bag that I got from Ken.
That was a cool-looking bag. I will give you that.
I'm going to tell you what. I mean, I love my Gray Ghost Big Thing for DIV, but this has been the perfect little bag for here.
Yeah, sometimes you want to travel light.
But it's just great. You know, you're out there first thing in the morning. You're not awake. You got your hot tea, and it's got a pouch for my phone, and I put my water in it, and can still put all the massive, you know, sea glass. I know everyone's probably thinking, why is she picking up those shells and sea glass? Why make jewelry? And
right, you're stocking up.
The shells are wampum, and I tumble those for like a month, and then make earrings and pendants and all that from it. So this is like a win-win when I'm detecting. My mother don't realize, that's all you found? I'm like, yeah, but I got a quart bag filled with sea glass and wampum from my jewelry.
Right, yeah, all I found was change, but you don't see the shoebox in the back of the car with all the sea glass and shells.
Exactly, and my mom was telling me that if you've seen Kelly Colbaugh, she's been doing glass, like pictures, but it's just regular old glass broken with resin. And my mom's like, you need to do it with sea glass. And I'm going, yeah, I've got probably 5 jars of sea glass at home that there are pieces that you just can't use for jewelry. They're just not the right shape, or they're too thick, or, you know, it's drilling the piece of glass and shells is, I drill it underwater with my Dremel press, and there's just some pieces that you just know you're never going to get through with a diamond bit, or you're going to bust the bit, or bust the glass, or so right. I might do some resin art with some of it. I picked up some shells, and so we'll see what craft I get to next.
Right, exactly. Well, we'll have to see what happens. Hopefully it turns out good.
Yeah, I'm going to play. She actually said one of the girls she works with does them and does shapes of the island. And I'm like, well, that's great if I was selling them here, you know.
Right, yeah. Not going to do you a whole lot of good in your market, though.
Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe like welcome or, you know, things like that with shells and glass. So we'll see.
Hey, it sounds interesting enough.
Yeah, so it's been a good trip. My mom's got me working. Oh, I went to the graveyard today. Saw the family. Trimmed the bushes. The graveyard here, you can plant like anything you want because it's your big plot. And every day we go up, my mom's like, that rose bushes drive me crazy. So I went up and attacked the rose bush today, and I won.
Good.
So it's just doing, spending time with Mom and just doing little things.
Hey, sometimes the simple things in life it goes a long ways.
Yep. She's 85, don't know when, how long she'll be here, so I come up every year just to, hang out.
Well, let's hope she doesn't plan on going anywhere anytime soon.
No, her mother lived to almost 103, so I think I'm stuck with her for a little bit.
Well, that's one way to look at it. Definitely.
She'd actually give you all a run for your money. She's a hoot.
Well, hey, there you go. It sounds like she's just a ball of fire.
Yeah, and anybody that's met me personally, you know where I now get it from.
Right, yeah, you got it honest.
Yep, so, well, thanks for letting me call in. I know I've chatted too much, and you need to go check and make sure you're not flooding, and be safe.
Well, always. I try to, anyway. Anymore.
Yeah. Somebody said, I hear you're flooding in North Carolina, and I looked at him and I said, if I'm flooding where I live, you all are drowned.
Right. If you're flooding where you live, then, somebody better send an ark, because I'm swimming.
Exactly. And they just looked at me. I said, I'm in the mountains at 2,300 feet.
Yeah,
So,
I don't think you have to, I don't think you're in necessarily any danger.
yeah, so I'm like, y'all are at sea level, so if I'm flooding there, you're already sunk and drowned.
Yeah, exactly. Considering, here in my area, I think we're only at like 800 feet or so, 850. So, yeah. If you're flooding, I'm not here.
Exactly. So, but everyone, Chuck, all those, you guys, definitely take care.
All right. Well, thanks for the call, and continue enjoying that trip and travel safe back home.
I will. Have a good night, Josh.
You too. We'll see you. Well, and for everybody else, I think, we probably ought to go ahead and get on out of here so I can check and make sure that we're not flooding. But before we go, I did mention tune in tonight and find out how you could possibly win a 1-ounce silver bar. We all know how Barb is about trying to loot and pillage prizes, right? So maybe we can get this out quick enough before she realizes what's going on if she's trying to get back to the radio or whatever. Either way, Metal Detecting Beyond Sight and Sound Facebook group. If you go over to there, you will find all the details. There is a contest running right now where you can have a chance to win a 1-ounce Retro Eagle and Shield silver bar from Silvertown. It's ready to ship and all of that. The contest is only going to run for a few days, though. I believe I'm going to end that Sunday and announce a winner. So if you haven't heard about it yet, you haven't checked it out yet, you may want to go over and check it out. Simple rules and multiple entries. So it's not one of those deals where you just enter once. If you go in and read the rules, you'll find out how you can get extra entries into that over the next coming day. Well, the next coming few days, actually. And, maybe you wind up getting a 1-ounce silver bar. Just kind of a little way for us to say thanks for everyone's support and continued support. And who knows when the next contest will be. We'll have to see what happens. Until the next time, though, folks, if you enjoyed the show, make sure and throw us a like right here. You can follow us on Spreaker, Facebook, YouTube, many of the wonderful podcast distribution services, and more. Until the next one, try to stay dry and get out there and find it if you can. We'll see you on the pages.